Yeah, hello, good morning to my channel, Ivan Che Innocent One. And then so, yeah, senior share BM, and there are a lot of developments. Cause what I think you bet me update here, and it's all related to issues that happen about Ghana. By way of introduction, let me start by saying, sir, we are new on this particular page. The best thing to do now is to just hit on the subscription button. So by upload the video, you'll be the first person to get notification so that also no we see abontin no who near back one me be a coso Ghana. We're doing all these things so by to me taking political education to a different level. So by nipa benya no honte ase na yeah who dia yeah. First, growing up, I saw a lot of violence, acrimony, hate, na that kind of way. I'm for the yaman yourself. Obi tiny new because they disagree. Obi a man yourself because of the tribe, because obi no wafa bi way the wenyanti sa nema no na eka ho bi na die nya ne. Yeah, that's what baby ayeti. So ya far to your home say we will try as much as we can to inform people and explain to a certain extent, to a certain basic level. Obia benya no ho ntiase na where yes ya kira adwen so obia timi a kira na adwen because da bia meka nyansa nte back for team. That is why you also have the opportunity at the comment section to write whatever that you think is there. We are growing the page. We'll get to a time be a better opportunity to maybe call in whatever when we are doing live shows. I'll be a bit but until that is done, I think that this is the way I bit me interact, now engage and deliberate on some of the issues so Ghana, and I'm sure say yena ebeboa nti said the number is kind of say unyan subscribe the best thing you do is to just subscribe to the page na yehu de yeko by the way of information update and say ukọ ye news portal graphic online anopai a report say 4 Ghanaians who smuggled 4.3 million pounds worth of cannabis jail 26 years in the UK. So by the way of update for you to know what is going on, I graphic online I report to say I Ghana for 9 or more UK. As say we at the free Ghana at the call UK. The when the nebuo no sombo over about 4.3 million pounds. Na yachi omo amasa nipa nan yade omakogina UK court, and I think their names have been provided here. Here obehu Edward Kwame Ajayi. I one of the your friend is saying one of the individuals are Yajeli omo. One is Christopher Yao Bedu. Then the other one is Daniel Yaboa, and the last one is Kweku Adai Bonsu. We Ghana for graphic online a report say omo FIV yes bonsam tower was there say omo di tukwan price that's so nya de ketwa say ade we ko wura ma 4.3 million pounds there Ghana for kura ko bobo say ado say na etimi bo enye sika ketwa enti. So here, graphic online to also said the drug haul was discovered by border force officers inside a shipping container at Tilbury Docks following a national crime agency sting. So more or less like the announced operation Nubia or undercover or chairman for no. I think say a Nubi and the national crime agency that particular operation. All 4 men were sentenced at Sadwalk Crown Court on October 18, 2024. Daniel Yaboa was jailed 5 years and Edward was jailed. Daniel Yaboa was jailed 5 years and Edward, 48, of London Road, Grey, was also jailed 4 years. Christopher Bedu, 48, failed to appear at the last month trial, and Bonsu, 52, fled the jurisdiction prior to sentencing. Both men were sentenced in their absence, Bedu received 10 years and Bonsu received 7 years. And you have a binum in your coin Ghanaian. Abra mobile and some no air cost or court, no, but they were sentenced in absentia. What it means is that anytime be any of these people step and I see a behuno UK biano, the sentence commence it. So that is by way of, I don't want to go details, but one of the news are trendy on news portal here in Ghana. No comment, and because it's just a way by information. And then you may so I'll say armed men block Tamale, your friend is saying Bolgatanga Tamale Highway attacks passengers. And sadly, we are there by Kwa Yakahwasama in Kada, Aya Boko, your friend saying conflict na cost relating to chieftains in the Nasafonum, Uti story na the armed men no as a block main road. And occurred Ruhani Yajina, and according to reports, one person Yajina no, or say Bisan set or more Kusase for, say, or your Kusasi near on Babono or Manenko, but we are that see sa tribal ethnocentric sa Niamanema where chieftaincy battles over the years Yakwa Faso Bia Frimumaya Edinipanya. Sikane near mercy development, we end up spending such monies, the resources and those things, and insurance. This anima winning number 2 gap, but I'm sure we could have done better than some of these petty nearma and from Puntu be a money pabrabo because and so have a beer amount for a pre-development. I do my brabo call now will be SSL 2 Nasikan a kuninianum because of what? Chieftaincy will be coordinated. Sometimes it doesn't really make sense, but here we are. It's quite unfortunate. Sir, in some say, yeah, that's so at home. I will Ghana, but what can we say? And whole lot of issues are so that is the way by update. And may focus for today's discussion related to the impasse I see our parliament. For the past 1 week in here, every single video update, every single development, news bite via air coso and the mainstream media here in Ghana, not a center on the speaker, the minority, the majority, the your friends saying Supreme Court, blah blah blah, ruling whole lot of stuff. Some problems, we have delved into the problems extensively. So and what I'm going to do is that how do we get ourselves out of all these problems? That is the solution. To address all these things. I'm going forward, encounter similar situations like this because so what see me previous videos I've been telling you your mind we are very reactionary people. Reactionary in the sense yet we will not solve our problems and as identify the major problems and then near at the problems until say then you see the whole nation going gaga, the whole entire nation going gay over such issues, and about within a twinkle of an eye, maybe a week, media will be fancy. They will fixate on such news bites, maybe for eyeballs or whatever. A trumpet na you move to another one. Recently, everybody was on Galamsey. Suddenly, Parliament in a minority issue. Nobody even talks about Galamsey no more. But still, problems are persisting. Obia has shifted the national attention, the focus, the media agenda, everything has shifted swiftly to what is happening in Parliament. It's quite unfortunate, very unfortunate. Actually, say, I don't know, Ghana, no, you name the pet. We just follow the BCBI the actually, and the storm on a boy and the sense of purpose. Say in the media space, this is the agenda. You have to your say we want to pursue this issue to the way, and to be her issue, But one of the issues I remember the BI can say the best way to solve some of these problems has to do with constitutional re-engineering. Review your constitution because you see constitution was written somewhere in 1992 1992 development, prevailing circumstances, nipa, desani, nema aba, social space, technological advances, and as for and nema bebre asesa. Enti emra yaya in 1992 no has to be updated. I bet me synchronize it with happenings today. That is why sometimes it's very difficult for people to point to the ancient days when the Bible was written and you want to insert it into this current space and expect people to go strictly by the Bible. It's not possible because the era, the circumstances, the ideas, whatever, necessity, such write-up, such advices, and as for assistant. And sometimes, we have to be very flexible in dealing with some of these things. But the Bible, we don't have the opportunity to review. But the Constitution, you have the opportunity to review. Until the says certain portions of our Constitution outlive in usefulness. And there are whole clauses in our Constitution are so ambiguous. The ambiguity means and you're clear. Like sentence na nkasa dahwa, it doesn't make sense. And unfortunately for us in this country, the only people Amakacha said the Constitution mandate you to put interpretation on a constitutional provision a judge. Apart from a judge sitting at the court, whoever, any other person, you can be a professor of law, you can be whatever you say remains your opinion. And in order not to give unnecessary power to a judge, obey you that particular way based on his discretion. What if that discretion is sick? What if the person doesn't even understand? But because no the mandate in our man on so what if we carve the laws in such a way, say on the face of it they make sense, they are coherent, they are understandable. At no the day, you don't empower a particular judge to put interpretation on it, because on the face of the Constitution, when you read it, it makes sense, the clarity, everything, you will get it. And one thing that I've been advocating is that sometimes like I don't know what is wrong with us, because and everybody goes haywire. For instance, say obi a Ghanaian na okura citizenship or another country, dual citizenship, ni ho kwan say obe purpose and as obe dwumadie e wo Ghana ha say obeye. It's something that has been in play. So very often say obi a Ghana ni no wa manone na say opese obe pe MP and as anything related to any of the major position you can occupy with dual citizenship. Now what they do is they renounce their citizenship in the second country now or to come here. And this is what happens. So your journey to Parliament now. You shut down state emphatically where the journey to Parliament starts from. We can read all the constitutional clauses in this country, all the provisions, whatever. There is no single clause provision in the Constitution that says a journey to Parliament House on a beginning at this point. At the time when you filing nomination, at the time I to Abama easy, I declare no. And at the time I walk Parliament, I may sworn in. A hefan will be called Parliament. Constitutional, you bet me I say journey. Officially in the beginning from Obia nim and do back a ja chikwesi mbaye no already now so in citizenship our Canada no processes in nyina things that onya the certification in as for no file to contest ama ya to ama yenyanto aba but asem no kodru court no and I'm saying in the Constitution there is no definitive period abetimi agina kase the way to Parliament, a beginning at this point, somebody had to interpret the Constitution. And it's a nipanom power sama obey interpret because I know the day on the way to me to interpret it. That is why the Supreme Court sat on that particular matter and interpreted in such a way that Jachi question will be sacked from Parliament. Because the Supreme Court, the agenda they are doing is to help government. Unfortunately, I wish say remain a misconception, but if you look at some of the recent rulings and then as for the air causing just to make sure say government get its way in everything. enti Supreme Court for the first time in jante papa na mane kotena afie, because in the constitution there is no point ya state say okọ parliament na journey ni start free, and the nsa kan certificate na waduru sa journey na in the past asi ama ye dibia didi ebinom asomaya ye nim nyansa no enka what I think say nke betimi aye ne say immediately after such hula balu we ya esi ye no, what we do is to look at the constitution, review and set it say okay, say obi ko parliament the actual journey no had start free na say start free here, because if you look at the past rulings na say for abai nyina depending on the judge na say for obi putu at anywhere or such instances no bakaya Rollins baba aye your friends senator ba ye see only voting your friends saying voters ID on throne din sansem no court and as for a whole lot of interpretation by and sana na no jachi question the year by. So why do we always want to give that discretionary power to somebody? We can't even trust their sense of judgment. Now you making sure say you updated the constitution, now you ensure all these things in a more clearer and coherent format. You don't need a judge to put interpretation on some of these things. But ye did jachi question that's what the ho e beda ho until sebesia kwawe obi foforo no obi amekasa. That is what culture say we are very reactionary people. We are not serious. Sana ase we abai current issue where parliament is anete. So what kind article 97 1G na echere member of parliament or break away with the party there na say constitution say contestation na wo say ebirum say ada clause no e futuristic effect, ebirum so e immediate effect. That are two contesting school of thought Asia obi chirechirem ne there. So if we have a chance to review the constitution, why can't we state and make it clear without any ambiguity, without any shred of doubt? Say, we break it away. These are blah 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 blah, so that you don't need a judge to interpret any constitution for anybody. We are saying evolve our say first na yet nema kwashe them. The whole country have to wait for two people to come out on bachelor margin and no, that era is gone. Yes, I understand there are key constitutional issues are keenly and highly contested. They are contestable, and such powers we can give to judge. But there are common petty ones in here. Say because if we review the constitution and write them in a more clearer form, like for instance, we are MP. Now could do parliament na ye to aba ema now break it away from your party. Your party cannot sack you. O term na cano, you need to finish it. Clear is at the how and answer will break it away. You have to come back for young to swaba. You see, these are some of the things that in the past, and I know it has been interpreted, sack or mom go back, but we've gotten to a point and a whole lot of arguments are coming up. These arguments are coming up because the constitution, the provision is not clear. And even where it is clear, people would deliberately twist it for political expediency. For this particular way, I can say when you are interpreting the constitutional text, you don't just look at the wording, you look at the spirit and what actually informed that particular clause. My culture say, Obiko NDC MP no kotena parliament. The following day also were changing on your NDC NBMA. The question is, should that person continue to sit in parliament and cause chaos? And I said allegiance and said here when the whole essence of that particular constitutional provision, is to ensure that harmony will prevail in the house, that cross carpeting will not be there, the allegiance can be your friends assured to parties in the Nasa forum, and there will be no confusion, so that there will be a harmonious environment for MPs to operate. But then for political expediency, it is being twisted to mean other stuff. So in the future, the reason why all the young people on various platforms are advocating for a constitutional change in this one, major part of our constitution, you know, and I'm saying you know, they are not in line with current happenings and or outlive the usefulness in the whole essence. We need to, for instance, make this age 40 before you can be president in the crown right now, and win here. Because there are younger people or more emerging as president and leaders elsewhere, and they are doing fantastic, they are doing better. You don't need to be 40 before you can be president. And win here. And again, this article 70 where holders are abaye bone of contention chroma salary issue be aba article where you know we need to review that portion of our constitution and ensure say there is this fair in terms of wages and the salary stipends and then as for the man for yakwaya nim obi ya banya dwuma okwa assignment we are paying people per diem ne as for no nyansa bi anim. Because at the end of the day, the per diem people take, you know, sometimes in the crowd, or two kind there, so I did or ban. Because time be an so, you said that stay at the cost are stated in a bear or more quiet people they are not supposed to take to. So I have black stars and saying you call work up and quasa. Some said you couldn't know where people who are not supposed to even join the team because of per diem or that whole 90 BR would see a budget $100, 90 BR budget $200. And it's a would do 1 week, I'll banner usika. It's me to teacher ni pension pay. But mind you know, we are working together to ensure that we put it at a certain pedestal. Nipa no to cry no. Because a quantum is supposed to be part of the job. Is the reason why on monthly basis we pay you. So if we think the amount of money we pay you on monthly basis is then let us activate that conversation. Now you're making sure that we pay people well so that they don't need those unnecessary incentives now ever to affect the rest. It doesn't make sense. And the fact is that you regularize it, other worker, put pressure away from people. And I've spoken to a colleague, friends, my mate, and I said for and almost every single nurse in this country, everybody is traveling. So the question is, the workforce now you be here as a mind, everybody is all because of bad salaries. These people call multi hospital amount for a rescue of my life and then as a for them no they don't pay them per diem then as a for them risk allowance they do saying and you pay to health workers in this country but MP to Kwenyako US okodi 1 month every 90 bia no oje $100 obiji $50 obiji $200 and then when you create such a chaotic unfair your friends environment. How do you expect people to on their own no? So you can't get that. So I think one of the surest way of tackling most of the problems we face in this country has to do with the fact that the constitution, you know, we need to sit down, break it down, and update it. I disagree with those who say yanto constitution because that is the foundational document for this fourth republic. Until said the fourth republic now will be torpedoed or truncated, no, the constitution will be in situ. You cannot throw it away. What we can do is to review it massively. Not portions, I say, you updating it to sink line. Dear a detrimental MYN for Yapantu a year 2 as of mine, you know. We do away with all those portions and then as a forum. Sa we are president now dear we are I just say a dear number of years and send a court and dear man crying crash some as a decan. But a president now no everything in the country no was done under his instruction no cannot be imprisoned and as I cannot be taken to court. Then minister no the aren't the minister it doesn't even make sense. So we can be living in a civilized political way such laws that's all because just imagine doesn't make sense. President na under his Akufo-Addo obewi akofie ono a wahwa watena se ama amanfo di nkurasesem no kro no akese ne ne mahu na akoso yi yesi ono de ebo owo immunity na oche na enyeye na ni nkrofo na oka no ho omo no yemu ya adwuma nde omo de obetimi ageli omo. It doesn't even make sense. It defiles the principle of natural justice. It doesn't make sense. But I understand those provisions were there because of the fear Rawlings had at the time, and now military leader thinking that or done power now. He needed some incentive. Sabaya obi because power and me and the woman said to certain extent it's understandable. Those clauses not just to protect himself because he realized that he was going to give up power. Or sign that what the power not to give it out. But and that Rawlings era is gone. So adding to civilian people be taking over the courage to remove that clauses because by so we team see we are. Come on. I think there are a lot that we can do. People say per solution no major part of it lie right in the constitution of this country. Those ambiguous clauses na our constitution no ma the bia emma judges binum ho kwan mo mbeka de omo pekere yen no. Let us take that particular job upon ourselves as a country to review this constitutional provision and slip in wording tester and make it sense. Clear. We will not need your friend saying extra interpretation from anybody. No obia kotreste abeke kan simpuna chere and say this is my ruling because I'm this. No. We need to do a lot. Sebaya, because the coming days, trust me, governance is not going to be few people's job. Everybody will be at the steering wheel. Once you veer off, people will come at you. The Makachiro say, at this point, you can't use power to intimidate people. No. As long as people are consuming information, young people are having access to free flow of information, you can't stop the time, you can't stop them. Enlightenment campaign, is upgrading, is going on. So you're going to have a hell of a criticism way. The only thing is to do the right thing. So one of the ways a bit me clear with some of these impasse across our parliament, this citizenship brohaha, this article, deben salary brohaha, and as a phone has to do with say yanjin tum. Now, young review your constitution is one of the surest way. President Bedia Kumwe we are, or no, they won't mean jailing by the minister there. It doesn't make sense. Or that power ultimately originated from the president. And these ministers act at his behest, at his instructions. Bosnia Kenoforiata no Bobon Kwasiaso and Asefo no. You couldn't have done so without Akufo-Addo's involvement. Cathedral, no bony team, a president there. So until another day, foolishly causing financial loss to the state. I will say, minister, you can jail him, you can't jail the president. It doesn't make sense. Recently, already around that, there are a number of former presidents Omuako jail. Last week, somebody was sentenced. So that we put people on their toes. Oba, you will not mess up. Now, my president, na me free so me di the next 4 years and nobody can take me to where 4 years in the Barcelona I can relocate and go anywhere. Let's get serious, people. And like I said, this is by way of information. So, Obaswa sees the opportunity. Like the page, subscribe to the page. It's Ivan Che Innocent One here on YouTube. Facebook is the same thing, but so subscribe to this page. Always be you get updates and we get interactive. Sebaya. Debiano, yebetimi ahia na yate ya ho ase. Or comments bia, you can leave it at the comment section. But don't forget, me say try and subscribe before you go so that you get the notification next time. Thank you very much.